Hello, everyone, and welcome to Brilliant Speaker. On today's show, I have the most incredible guest, Raymond Harlall. I'm just going to bring him into the broadcast. And is an international speaker. He's a best-selling author. He is a YouTube superstar. Welcome to the show, Raymond. Thank you for being on Brilliant Speaker today.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you for inviting me to do this live interview with you.
I've really been looking forward to it, Raymond. So let's jump straight in with the questions. Can you share your story into being a successful international speaker, a best-selling author, and a YouTube superstar?
Yes, for sure, Mark. Growing up, I grew up in church. My parents. Sorry about that. I don't know if somebody's trying to call me. I turned off my radio signal. Still, they're getting on. Okay. I grew up in church. My parents are pastors, so I kind of grew into speaking in terms of going through Sunday school, teaching Sunday school in church, and then doing Bible study. So speaking came natural to me, but it's being in church is quite different from being a speaker at large and being a paid speaker. And of course, there's two kinds of speaker. Keynote and a sell speaker, but we'll stick with keynote for now. So keynote, you have to add value, you have to be teaching, and so I kind of grew into it. And about your second question is about second part of the question is about being an author. So I always wanted to write a book. You know, you grew up. My mom's like, you gotta read your Bible. You gotta read your Bible. Okay. Well, as a kid, I didn't like reading, and then as you grow older, you understand the importance of books and reading and expanding your knowledge. And I always wanted to be an author because you should not just be a consumer of reading, but you. After some time, it's not for everybody, but some people do want to be an author, and now in this time and age of technology and self-publishing, it's quite easy to be an author. And me myself, I'm now not just an author, but I am a publisher. And if you see back here in this poster, there is 21 co-authors, and this is my upcoming book, The Handbook to Holistic Health. Okay, sorry about that again. I don't know how to get rid of this call.
No, Raymond. Well, what a great story going from church into being a speaker. And what a book to read, Raymond, the Bible at a young age. If you can read the Bible, you can read any book, how big it is.
Sorry, Mark. Can you repeat that one?
I said, what a book to read as a youngster, the Bible. It's a big book to read, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's 36. Like it's so many chapters.
Well, it's a great journey you've been on, Raymond, and I just love what you're doing. And also, if anyone wants to get Raymond's book, please pop the link in, Raymond, too, so people can get the book.
For sure. And this one here, I'd love for you to actually wait until October 27th, because that's our book launch, and I'll have a crazy deal online, especially for the ebook, and that's October 27th on Amazon.
Well, feel free to tag me in any post once it comes out, so my viewers can purchase that book too. We've got lots of people on today. Please, can you type in some comments? Tell us where you are in the world. Give us some love hearts in the comments to let you know you're appreciating the value today. And if you've got any questions that you would like to ask Raymond, do type them in, and feel free to share the broadcast so we can get more people seeing this amazing content that we're going to be giving. That brings me to my next question, Raymond. the speaking industry, especially for new aspiring speakers and established speakers that are feeling stuck, can be difficult. What tips have you got for speaking success?
So the number one tip to speaking, and I've learned this from my mentor, Les Brown, and everybody's a speaker, he says. You speak on the phone. If you're a salesperson, you're a speaker. But true speaking is basically a transfer of emotions and energy. Thank you, Ravini, for joining us. Thank you for watching from the Caribbean. We appreciate that. And true speaking, it's easy. It's just communication, but to be a keynote speaker, you have to master the skill. It's you're not speaking. Everyone speak one-on-one or one-on-two, three. But as a keynote speaker, being on stage, being on a platform, you have to speak one to many, and that's a special kind of skill. And you have to make each of the audience member feel that you are talking to them and them alone. And so it's quite a good skill. And it's once you have it nailed down, you'll be good. And the only way I would say, the best tip I can tell you is just go out there and speak. If you're now, and your question was for people that are now starting, go out there to organizations, to schools. And that's where I started. You speak for free, and not just for your agenda. You speak to add value. If you're speaking to add value, people want to listen, because you can't be speaking about yourself. Of course, you have a nice intro video for them to know who you are and what you're about, but that should be a minute long, and everything else should be about adding value. And of course, you must tell your story of how you came into this, and if you struggle and what you got over. But the main chunk of your speech has to be to the audience, and address to each person individually, by saying you have to refer to yourself as I, and not you guys and audience. You're gonna say I and you. You're only saying you. So you gotta stick with that. Thank you for watching, Mark, Vicky, Mary.
What I liked about that, Raymond, was getting used to talking to one to many, because you do really have to get used to that feeling and overcome some big fears as well. It does take confidence to get up there initially. And also, I liked how you say, go out and add value. I do think it's really important when speaking, you're doing it to serve people and add value. And I find when I turn it to adding value and serving the room, that's when you get the best interaction from the audience, because you're really serving the audience. So there's some great tips what you've shared here. I'm just going to go over some comments here. We've got Lynn Hopefullness giving us a good thumbs up. Hi, Lynn. We've got Vicky Morgan saying adding value. Love it. Thank you, Raymond. Mary Kettle saying hello from Fleetwood, UK. Hello, Mary. So yes, if you're getting value here, please share the broadcast. Feel free to type in any questions you have for Raymond. He's got lots of knowledge, and give us some comments. Tell us where you are in the world. Give us some hearts to show you're enjoying the broadcast. So Raymond, that brings me on to my next question. You have had over 1.5 million views on YouTube, so you're a real YouTube star. Can you tell us a little bit more about your YouTube channel and your YouTube, please?
Yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you. And it started unintentionally, and most people will be like, "What?" Yes, it started unintentionally. But before I get into that, I just want to bring a distinction between Facebook and YouTube. So YouTube is available worldwide, and it's on Facebook now. Only my friends, for the most part of it, and your friends will see this live broadcast here today, and to the friends of the people, our viewers that share it on their page also. But my page is kind of public, so anybody else that comes into my page will see this. However, YouTube, we're talking about speaking, we're talking about being an author, we're talking about YouTube today, but there's no search engine to find a live video on this, which is why YouTube is so amazing, and it's international, worldwide. Everybody can basically do anything now. You just go, everybody Google it, and that we used to do Wikipedia before, and then read how to do it, and then look at the image. But now it's insane. There's videos for everything. And where I have personally found value in, well, what I think what accounts for my success in YouTube is that I made it about the viewer, and most of my videos are how-to videos, and that's what people want to know. They go to YouTube to see how-to, and I got involved. Well, basically, I became a YouTube sensation unintentionally, meaning I never intended to have a YouTube channel. I just created one. My mobile, I always record on my phone, and I had maybe a 16 gig iPhone then, the iPhone 5 or whatnot, and so it was filled up. So I wanted to delete some stuff from my phone and put, and I consider YouTube a free archive platform. So I just put my videos on there, deleted from my phone without thinking about it. After a year, and this instant, my stories, I started working as a laborer in a warehouse, and then I I became a forklift operator. I'm now a forklift instructor, and then I moved to the trucking industry. I built a trucking company, and I also sold that. So, and then I got into construction, and now I'm out of that. But in all those stages, whatever I learned, I captured on video to share, to basically remind myself, like, yes, I did that for myself. I did it for myself, but I did it in a way I'm teaching how to. And it's basically me teaching myself if I was to watch it again. And people found lots of value in that. And I uncovered that I had thousands of views on YouTube because of an employee that came into the warehouse that I was working. He's like, I know you. I'm like, buddy, I would remember if I know you. He was this tall. He had the fancy hairstyle, so I'd remember this guy. And the next day he's like, Raymond, you have a YouTube channel. I said, yeah, actually, I do have some videos on there. And he said, you have thousands of views. I'm like, really? And then I pulled up my YouTube channel on my mobile device, and he was right. I had thousands of views. So that's when I'm like, oh, I probably need to figure out how I should add more value on other things. And I didn't know about titling. I just put the title. I didn't do any description. I didn't do any tag words. But the content was so good that people were looking for that. And nobody else was teaching how to operate a forklift in an actual warehouse, and how the supply chain industry worked, as in the container bring in the product, and you pack it in the warehouse, then you get orders and you distribute it. So that was fun.
What I liked about that is you made it about the viewer and how-to. It's all about doing the how-to videos so that people connect and they want to learn from you. And you have, go on, you speak.
It's what's, you have to ask yourself, when people watch something or get a service from you, or you're speaking to them, you have to get this in your mind. What's in it for me, they will ask.
Well, Raymond, you have got a new subscriber today because I subscribed to your channel too. Right, I'm gonna do some comments. We've got Claire Brown giving a thumbs up. Now we've got Lynn Hope Thomas. asking a question. And me and Lynn are both coming to Toronto in April, Raymond, which we're really looking forward to the Jack Canfield event. So we'll get to meet in person, which I'm really excited about. And I know Lynn's super excited. Lynn's asking, what's been your most embarrassing moment while speaking publicly?
Most embarrassing moment. Well, the funny part is, at first, when you're speaking, you're just starting to speak. As most people would do, for 2 weeks before, you'll try to cram your content. You'll try to cram it in order and a word for word. And I'll tell you now, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Because your brain will just freeze up. And when your brain freezes up, if you have crammed content, which is you memorize each point, well, point is good, but if you memorize word for word what you're going to say, you're going to get into serious trouble. And that's how I started. And I froze up. I didn't know what to say. And I basically had to stop and start over again, which is so stupid. And that should never happen if you go by points. And I now figure out ways and tricks. I have a coach. His name is Ron White. He's a 2-time U.S. memory champion. And he has a program that I take. And I've watched him speak several times. And so you have to create a mind map, and you put anchor points around the room, and you have a picture for every point, and then you'll say door is whatever your point is. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 point, and as you're watching the audience, they don't know what's going on in your head, but you have to go into the room and put a point to an object, and you go around the room that way. It's called a mind map. Or you can even do it in your living room. You at your home or in your office, you'll go around. Okay, I have a banner here. This is my intro. I have a light. That's my second point. Second light is third point. And then you go around that way and create a mind map so you can speak freely. And a worst case scenario, let's say you do slip up and you forget that one story you wanted to tell, or you forgot the quote. Nobody will ever know. That's your speech. So I learned this. I was in August, I took a 3-day speaker training from Les Brown and his daughter Ona Brown, and she's right here. She's actually one of my co-authors, and she's in this book forwarded by Les Brown, and she's going to be my keynote speaker here in Toronto at my event. It's called the Power of Collaboration. And we have a beautiful lineup of speakers here for that event, October 27th. So if you're in Toronto, be sure to come out and check out this event. Ona Brown is coming from the US, and Danielle, she's coming from Portugal. James McNeil is an international speaker. He toured the globe several times. Cora Cristobal, who is also a friend of you, Mark, a friend of yours.
Love Cora.
And she's the one who's bringing Jack Canfield in April, and she's the founder of Toronto Women's Club, so she'll be at my event. She's also my co-author. Jim Hedrington, I call him the love doctor because he's a relationship coach, and he just launched his personal book this weekend. And we have here Alka Sharma, and she comes to the UK a lot too. She used to live in the UK actually, and she now lives here. She's a fitness expert, and she's one of my keynote speakers also at that event.
Well, I'm a big believer in the power of collaboration. I think the world needs to be less competitive and more cooperating and, collaborating together, because I think when everybody collaborates together, everybody thrives. It doesn't need to be a dog-eat-dog world. So a world of collaboration, I'm all for that. You made some great points there. I related to that so much because when I first started speaking, all my text was on my slides, and it's like I was trying to memorize a speech. So doing points is really much better, and then just speaking naturally. That's a great word of wisdom. and also pictures. If you have pictures in your mind that prompt you if you speak, your subconscious mind remembers pictures. So that is real value you've given us there, Raymond. We've got Mary saying lots of value coming through. Love listening to this. We've got Lynn Hope Thomas saying, what's your top tip for spoiler? I'm not quite sure what she means there. Like the story about supply chain videos. We've got Lynn Hope Thomas saying, Vicky Morgan saying, mind map, that's such a useful tip. Lynn Hope Thomas saying, a great tip. And Cora, hi Carol, love listening in. Thanks Mark and Raymond from Lynn Hope Thomas. Guys, please share the broadcast. If you're getting value today, please type in some hearts to show your appreciation. And if you do have any more questions, please type them in. That brings me to my next question, Raymond. What do you think has helped you the most with your YouTube success?
So my YouTube success, I don't know if I kind of jumped the gun kind of on you with the answer before into YouTube. I kind of went all in there. What helped me the most with YouTube success? Okay, so only probably a year now. It's a blessing in a way, I would say. And again, as I told you, I was working in the warehouse. A person came in and he said, I know you. I didn't know him. He knew me from my video. And this was like 4 years ago. And just last year, I was in the city of Toronto on the East End, an area called Scarborough. I was at a restaurant and I'm in line for food. It's a pretty hot spot. And there's another guy next to me. And he's like, hey, I know you. You're Raymond. I'm like, okay. And of course, I'm Brung. The guy is Brung. So, but I'm from South America, Guyana. British Guyana is where I'm from. So I'm more Caribbean. So I'm like, are you from Guyana? That's my first question because visually he's Brung and I'm Brung. So I'm like, you must know me from Guyana then. And then he's like, no. His first question is like, I know you. I'm like, okay. So where are you from? He's like, India. I'm like, okay. And how do you know me? He's like, from your videos. I'm like, okay. He's like, man, I watch all of your videos. I love your trucking videos. I want to learn, have my own truck and drive a truck because you make good money. And but I'm the guy that I know you say in the end, leave a comment or like or subscribe. He's like, man, I watch everything, but I don't like to do the subscribe and I subscribe, but I don't like leaving a comment, he says. So that alone was like so rewarding that you'll meet people when people start saying, I know you from your videos. That's amazing. And the most rewarding thing for me, the best tip, to go back to your question, I just wanted to share that story. The best tip, that's the most rewarding for me. And secondly, two things. What's most rewarding for me also is that almost every day I get a comment underneath the videos and it says, Ray, thank you so much. Like, your video helped me. And I asked at the end of the video, tell me where you're watching from. And I'm just blown away. It'll be Africa, it'll be India, it'll be somewhere in the Caribbean, one of the states in the US. So it's so beautiful to know that people are watching from everywhere in the world. And one thing that I struggled a bit, but it's tricky. I struggled with it, but it was actually my success, which is why I told you the story about the guy in the store. He told me something. He said, I like watching your video, Raymond, because it's real. It's not edited. He didn't realize that I didn't know how to edit videos. And I wasn't doing the whole 9 yards as a YouTuber to edit and put the text under and all that intro and exit and all that nice stuff. And so that's a great tip because there's other people that are doing it, but they're editing and cutting. And if you watch my authentic videos, and I didn't know how to edit, so I'll basically hold the phone, record myself, and I will talk freely for 10 minutes or so. And if I make a mistake, I just keep going, and people kind of like that. And that was amazing. I didn't know that, and maybe that's something that adds to the success of the training videos. And so I now know how to edit, but I don't, on my how-to videos, I try not to edit. I'll basically put the whole thing. I'll just add words on the bottom or something like that, or an additional view, but I will not cut and paste it. It's kind of like us going live here and not removing anything.
Well, you know you're doing something right when people are recognizing you out and about. That's a sign that you're getting views on YouTube. So that's a sign things are going right. And a great tip you said there, what stood out to me, that you make a mistake, carry on going anyway. I really like that. We've got Daniela Roman saying hi. Hi, Daniela.
And Daniela is from I was in the US for a whole month. I drove through all the states, most of the states, Pennsylvania, and her husband will be here in Toronto soon, and I look forward to connecting with you, Daniela.
Yeah, they're a great couple. I interviewed them the other day. That brings me to my next question. I speak about self-leadership and transformation. Can you tell me what that means to you?
So self leadership, and this is a very important topic for me, Mark, and it is for every leader. And if your heart's desires to go out there and be a leader and effect change in someone else's life, it starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with Mark. And for us to be doing this, what we're doing, just this live, there's so much back end work we had to do. Mark, first we had a regular conversation over the phone. We connected. We had friends in common. Then we connected, and then Mark said, "Okay, Raymond, are you comfortable with me asking you some certain question?" I said, "Yes, go for it." So and then we did a test. We did a test live video, 15 minutes before we actually came on live, and just to make sure everything works. And so that's what I would say is the best leadership. What do you term it, Mark? Self leadership.
Self-leadership and transformation.
And transformation. So that's self leadership. You're doing stuff that people will never know, but once you get there, you want to be flawless. And we did all this so our audience can have an amazing experience. And not have us trying to come on, and it happens sometimes. It does happen, but Mark sent me, it's like, "Listen, Raymond, I need you to get your phone sideways," which I find is, well, I'm okay because I interview other people and Mark does too. So ours was very smooth, and there's some people who has never done a live before. It's quite complicated because there's a few rules. So self leadership and transformation. It starts with you, with me, with Mark. And it depends on what your goal is and your end results. And if you want to affect change, and that's the best thing you can ever do in life, is to help another human being. We came on this earth to kind of, if we just leave the earth just a little bit better than we found it in no time, it's like littering. If you see somebody throw something on the ground, go and pick up two things, and then you'll never see something again, rather than go and fight the person. You just pick up that one and pick up another one, and then you know you're good. You clean up their mess, and you left room for somebody else, and it's gonna be a clean place. So you just got to do the work. It's about being optimistic and selfless and caring and wanting to leave Earth a better place than we found it.
You put that absolutely beautifully. I love your take on it. It starts with you, and you've showed some of your great values there as well, Raymond. Real good person with great values. And again, you made it about helping other people too, which is always about serving. So I really, really liked your comments on that. Danielle and Roman saying, yes, Amelia and I will be in Toronto in a few days. Emilio says hello, Raymond and Mark. Hi both, hope you're having an amazing day. That brings me to the next question. What is new for Raymond and what are you working on right now?
Sorry, Mark. Can you do that question again one more time?
I certainly can. What's new for Raymond and what are you working on right now?
So I'm working on a very interesting project, something that's dear to my heart. So my personal book is called The Handbook to Financial Freedom by 30. And that's where I want to inspire. I'm 29, I'll be 30 next year. But I feel like what I know now, if I knew when I was 20, I would be way farther ahead. And I don't want each teenager or young adult to spend 10 years just learning from experience or learning from trial and error. And I'm drastic. Transformation is easy for me. I love changing, learning new skill, and just learning and teaching. So now I've figured out most of. I'm only 30. I take training and mentorship from people that are 50, so they know what to do when you're 40, and they tell me what to do, and so I kind of have it nice and figured out. But my mission and passion is to help the younger generation. So in this book, The Handbook to Financial Freedom by 30, is where I'll teach stuff like when you're young, you're in school. High school is important, but college is not for everyone, especially if you're going to come out with a big college loan and have no job security and any way to recoup that money. And then you have to start a family, you'll buy a car, you'll go in debt. Buying a car is bad debt, college tuition is bad debt, buying a house is bad debt, and that you can, houses are good, but if you're living in it, it's a liability. And Robert Kiyosaki teaches this in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant. And it's all about cash flow. So what I teach, that's complicated, but I'm trying to keep it for high school kids. And what I want to tell them is, in high school, if they work, whatever they work, minimum wage, they have no expense. They're not paying rent. They're not probably paying phone bill. They're not even buying their clothes, or they'll probably buy cool sneakers. But I want to educate them that, hey, this is just material things. And if you work during school while your parents are supporting you, living at home, you can save up that money, and then save that up. And if you have enough, you can invest it in real estate wisely. That brings in cash flow. And two, I want to teach them being an employee is good, because then you learn skills that you can never learn in school. Do different jobs every summer. Do a different job. You don't have to go back to the same one and be limited. And then, if you do choose to go to college, or you come out of school and you start working for a year or two, you want to start being an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur, it's sorry. Entrepreneurship, it sounds like a lottery. It sounds easy, but it's not. You have to work 20 hours a day, 7 days a week when you're getting started. And it's most things people know about entrepreneurship is just the end result, and it's not the end result. Most to be a successful business, it takes about 3 to 5 years for it to happen. So the earlier you start building this, is the better. And I know this is best through YouTube. And now Google sent me a check every month for my views, because I monetize it by allowing YouTube and Google to put ads on my video. And people don't mind. If I'm teaching you for free, they're not paying for the content. They don't mind watching 5 seconds of video, and then you can skip it if you like. So that's pretty cool, I think. And I use that principle of, it takes about 3 years to build up enough audience to make any kind of money that's worth putting, like just worth cashing out. If you're making 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents, it's not good. But if I'm making 300 to 500 now, and I haven't been adding more videos. So this is recurring income, and it'll never stop for life. And these videos I did, put it up as archives, and they're making me money, and people are telling me I'm helping them. So that's beautiful. And I'm working on bigger projects in terms of books. And so my first book that I got into details and tell you about why I wrote that book. And that's I'm more of a big picture person. And when I do one thing, it has to correlate with something else or be congruent. So YouTube teach me this. So YouTube is kind of a teacher for other businesses that I do. Because the videos keep getting revenue. I did the work once. I'm like, hey, how can I do this in real life? Property does this. Real estate does this. If you own a property, you rent it, and cash flow happens, and you keep getting money. Your property value goes up. You're doing well. Meanwhile, you still have to work and pay your bills. If you have a job, work and pay your bills, your rent, your car insurance, your mortgage, whatever it is, but gradually you're also investing in your future, because it takes a bit, 3 to 5 years. Don't quit your job today and say you're going to be an entrepreneur tomorrow and have no clue how to register a business, have no cash flow, have no customer. Don't do that. You'll go bankrupt. So the book, the handbook to financial freedom by 30 inspired this book, which is the handbook to holistic health, how to live happy, healthy, and wealthy. But that book was just me alone teaching young kids how to be financial free by 30, by investing in real estate, by starting a business, by saving their money at an early age. But this one is the handbook to holistic health. 21. Sorry, some people are in the bottom, and I'm in the office here. I just brought this in. And 21 co-author, one of my co-authors is watching, and her name is Divya Sudarsan, and we have the same last name because she is my wife. And and Divya is also a co-author in this book, The Handbook to Holistic Health. And in it is my story about chasing after money, owning my own trucking company, driving on the highway all night. And this one day I fell asleep on the wheel and I almost died. And so I fell asleep by falling asleep on the truck while driving a tractor trailer, 18-wheeler. That woke me up in life. That flipped the switch. Like, hey, buddy, no money in the world is more important than your life. And meanwhile, I was unhealthy. I was 200 pounds. I was eating junk food all the time. And that inspired this book because I met this guy here, Dr. George Grant. And he wrote 10 books already. And he's the one between me and him, because I took him on as my mentor. I lost 30 pounds. I'm now healthy, and I have businesses, cash flow coming in. And we're like, you know what? We should write about this. And so we put together a few of his colleagues, and then I invited other people, and it became into a whole. The book became something on its own. It's like where it started to where it is now. I can't believe it. No one can, because the book is the book. And it got so big that Les Brown, world's #1 motivational speaker, endorsed it by doing a forward for it.
Well, what I like about that, Raymond, when you're in school, you're not really taught that there are other options apart from, like, you're not really taught about entrepreneurship. So I think it's great that you're putting your efforts into giving those younger generation that knowledge, because I don't think when you're in school they teach you about entrepreneurship. So I think that's great. And I also like your honesty about the time it takes and the hard work it takes to put into entrepreneur business. You're dead right with the time, 3 to 5 years, and it is really, really hard work. So I think it's great that you're out there inspiring the younger generation. I think that's incredible. Please, everyone, share the broadcast. Please type some hearts to show your appreciation. Raymond, I've really enjoyed interviewing you today. and I've really enjoyed our conversation. I'm really looking forward to seeing you and Cora Christabel in April with Lynn Hope Thomas. We're going to be there, and that's going to be a really exciting event, what I'm looking forward to too. My last question is, can you tell my viewers how they can connect with you, how they can follow you, how they can get in touch if they're interested in what you're doing?
For sure, Mark. And that's, I just got a phone. I met a gentleman just over the last weekend. I did I went to a Bob Proctor event,
Love
and
Bob.
I get to meet Bob. I took a picture with him. I get to speak with him. He autographed one of his book for me, and he's the all-time greatest speaker. He's the oldest. He's 84 years old, and if you want to see a live, well, not live, a live clip from yesterday, go to my Facebook page, and it's available there. I held my phone for about an hour, and then my battery was going low, so I had to turn it off. But yeah, how to connect with me. And I have a pretty cool card here. So this is my business card. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but it says, this is my video marketing. I'm a video marketer also. I help authors, speaker, coaches, small businesses do beautiful video stories of their company. Rather than words alone, you put a clip together. I get either the president or the PR person to talk about the company. I capture them on the video, and then different angles, and put a nice promo video together for them and tell the story of what they do. And this is what that card is for. But as you can see, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn. WhatsApp is when you're a partner of mine. That's more of a private thing. I am not on Twitter and Snapchat, but at the time creating the card, the designer said, let's put that on. But you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 platform is good for me. I'll leave Twitter for Donald Trump, and Snapchat for the younger folks. But the question mark that you said, to make this the easiest possible, is you Google my name. I don't know how clear this is showing up. You Google Raymond Harlall, and the first page of Google search gonna show you my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. I'm the only one on the first page or two, and you just Google my name and follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my YouTube channel, send me a message on Facebook, add me on Facebook if we're not friends already. And Mark, I have a very exciting project coming up. The next book I'm doing, and I love doing collaborative book, because inspired by this event, I just want to share this quickly. This event is called The Power of Collaboration, but because of I'm creating a series of books, the Handbook 2 series, inspired again by YouTube, because I did how-to videos, and now I'm like, you know what? YouTube is good, but people want, there's a big audience that read book, and book is a legacy. It lasts forever, and you have something tangible to hold. It's in the physical. YouTube is in the cloud. It could all disappear in a day. We never know how that goes. And but the next book I'm doing, and I welcome qualified people like you, Mark, and some of your colleagues and partners, to express your interest, because I want to put together another collaborative book. I'm looking for another 21 co-authors, and to write, and this topic's going to be, inspired by the Power of Collaboration event, which is on October 27th here in Toronto. The book's going to be called The Handbook to Powerful Collaboration. And of course, we're going to speak about different authors. Everybody's going to have a different point of view on what collaboration means to them personally, and to you personally, and how it has helped you and your business, or your business grow, and whether you're a coach, a mentor, a speaker, an author, how you can also add value in that in that area of expertise. So that's the next book project I'm working on. I like to keep it all congruent, videos and the books and the marketing all together, because hey, It's the same. I like doing the work one time and put it in different platforms. And so to answer your question, just Google my name. Or if you're watching this, of course, you can add me as a friend on Facebook. Send me a message. I'd love to connect with you. Call you for a half an hour or so, get to know you, and then we'll see how we can collaborate after that.
Everyone reach out to Raymond. He's a good, honest, sincere person. He's really incredible at everything he's doing with his career. I'm really inspired by you, Raymond, and I can't wait to come and see you in April in Toronto. I'm really so excited about that, and especially about seeing Cora Cristobal too. Thank you for being my guest today. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And until next time on Brilliant Speaker, I'll see you soon. Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Brilliant Speaker. Thank you for having me. And I want to thank all of our viewers today for spending the time. And I truly hope maybe everything was not new to you. I at least hope that you got one or two things you didn't know before. And I would appreciate it the most. And I also, Mark, if you can just send us a message or leave in the comment of what was your main takeaway today, like just this one thing, or even most importantly, and almost no one ever do this, and I've been doing this on my YouTube channel too. I said, listen, if you like it, tell me why. If you don't like it, also tell me why, because that's more important to me. Also, it's actually not more, equally important to me to know why you didn't like it so I can fix it. If you like it, I know what to talk more about. So please, 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 you must have a conclusion from this video. If it's good, tell me. If it's bad, tell me. If it's both, tell me also. Thank you. I appreciate your time, Mark. You are amazing. Thank you for the invite, and I look forward to working with you and seeing you in person here in Toronto.
We will indeed. We've got Vicky Morgan saying, thank you, Raymond, so interesting and helpful. And we've got Divya saying, great interview. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you next time on Brilliant Speaker. Bye for now.